Hi guys, thanks for stopping by. So today we are going to try and get as many polishes. I've been trying to, for the last couple weeks, like wrap up this monthly manis that we've got caught up doing just because I'm so far behind. So hopefully today I'd like to get through November and December. That's quite a bit of polish, so we'll see how long this video starts to get. I at least want to get through November, hopefully maybe at least mid-December, and then hopefully we can get caught up because I really want to go back to weekly manis. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I am getting ready to go out to dinner here shortly with some friends, and so I thought this would be, and Linus is totally messing up my pile of polishes that I've got put in order here. I can't deal with this cat. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ooh, ah. That's what happens when you're not holding the tripod properly. What are you doing? Oh, there's something wrong with you. Oh, yeah. So we're gonna try and get through a couple weeks worth of manis. I don't know how in order they are anymore now that he's been laying on them for the past couple minutes. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going out to dinner, so I thought this would be a good time to film a video because half of my videos are me with very little to no makeup on, so I thought I would come on here and look a little bit more presentable than I normally do. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to make this intro short because I want to get through as many polishes as I can. So here we go. First up for this monthly manis is a new brand to me. This is Bluebird Lacquer. This came out in the October, I want to say it's October polish pickup, which was a villains theme month. And this one is a thermal, and it is called the winner of the Nobel Prize, which is based on Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, this is a new thermal brand, a new brand to me, and it's kind of a like denim-y blue that transitions to a like tannish kind of nude camel color, and it's got it's definitely gold. I can't remember if it was multi-chromatic in some way, but there's definitely some gold flakies in there, which I don't know if you're gonna be able to catch here in the video because I don't have very much sunlight today. It does have a little bit of a flash that you can see there. Really pretty. I wasn't crazy about the transition as I thought it was gonna be. In pictures, I thought it looked really pretty. On the nail, it was nice, but I wasn't like overly excited about it. I don't know. I just was wanting a little bit more from this polish, and it didn't really excite me as much as some other thermal transitions do. So it was okay, just not crazy about it. So winner, and the formula was nice, nothing wrong with the brand, you know, nothing wrong with the polish. It was just kind of the color combo I just wasn't crazy excited about. So that again is winner of the Nobel Prize. Next up is another tonic that came out during the Halloween release that she did a couple months like prior to Halloween, obviously. And this one is called Monster Mash, and this one is a thermal also. This one I picked up. She did a restock of those Halloween polishes. First round I didn't pick it up. And then second round I decided to pick it up just because everyone, I wanted to hold off because I've been trying to limit my trying to limit my tonics, but I'm also trying to limit my thermal polish purchases. But I saw too many swatch photos and everyone was like raving about this polish, so I ended up going back when it got restocked and picked it up. I just couldn't help myself. So Monster Mash is this interesting like periwinkle blue color. It leans a little bit on the purple side, but I would say it's more of a blue than it is a purple. And it does have this really pretty like aqua, let me refocus here. It's got this really nice kind of like greenish blue flash that you can see in there, of shimmer. It is a little in the bottle it looks a little duochromy, but you don't catch that on the nail, I don't think, from what I remember. So anyway, it's this really pretty periwinkle blue when it is cold, and I believe it shifts to like this like translucent, let me double check. I want to say it shifts to like a translucent kind of whitish color. Yes, that is correct. It has a little bit of like a purple, it's like a translucent white, but I wouldn't say translucent because it's still opaque. It's like a white color, but it's a little, it's got a little bit of a tinge of purple to it. So really, really pretty. I really enjoyed this. Not my favorite out of the Halloween collection. I would say probably River and Fear the Reaper were probably my favorites, but this was definitely a good one. I'm glad I ended up going back and picking it up. So Monster Mash from Tonic. Next up is a old classic that I wore last fall and I wanted to get on my nails again. This one is from Collura. It's called Transmutation. I hadn't worn a multi-chrome in quite a long time, so I decided to go ahead and bust one out. I don't know why, I just haven't really been reaching for them as much as I don't know, I've just been really excited about thermals and flakies, and somehow multi-chromes kind of took a little bit of a backseat. So I wanted to put one on, and this one is one of my favorites. Excuse me, multi-chromes are always hard to capture in these videos, but it is a really pretty purple to blue with a little bit of kind of that greenish gold that you see in a lot of the multi-chromes. It's really pretty. I didn't love it as much this round. It does have a bunch of scattered hollow in there. So really pretty. I didn't love it as much as I did last time. I think it is because this was one of the first kind of multi-chromes to my collection. So when I wore it last fall, I really, really liked it. Now I've got quite a few other ones that transition a little bit more, that have a little bit more like, I don't know, they're just a little bit like more vibrant on the nail. So wasn't really as crazy about it this time, but it's still a really nice polish. I feel like I've gotten a couple better ones in my collection now, so I wasn't as crazy about it. So that again is Transmutation from Cadillacquer. Next up is what are you doing? Okay. Next up is a Zoya polish. This one came out in the Element collection, slowly working my way through the Element collection. I do plan on filming a video for the Zoya Element collection sometime. I don't know why, I'm so behind in other videos that video just keeps getting pushed further behind because it's now January and that came out like months and months ago. So I feel like at this point it's like, I feel like I should do it. I'm gonna do it, but now that it's so far behind that I keep doing other videos before I do that video, but I have it on my agenda to do. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So anywho, this is Ruthie from the Element collection, and I really liked the creams in this collection. They're just colors I kind of already have similar colors in my collection, so you'll see that when we do the color comparison in that video. But I wanted to go ahead and try this one out, and this one is just it's like a dustier kind of mauvey pink color. It's really pretty, again, really nice formula. Nothing really crazy to write home about. It was just a nice polish, so it's nice to add to my collection. I just feel like I've probably got quite a few colors in my collection like this, so it doesn't really like stand out to me as much as I would like it to, but it was still pretty. So again, that is Ruthie from Zoya. And then the last up from that week is in England. This one I wanted to try and wear as part of the, oh, I got some in my throat. Excuse me. I wanted to wear this as part of the Chocolate November series that Pahlish Talk and I want to say, I can't remember who the other one is in that. I can't remember, but definitely Pahlish Talk was doing a series for November of Chocolate November, so she was wearing a lot of brown polishes. So I wanted to kind of join in a couple times during that month, and so I pulled this one out thinking it was a brown color, but it's actually not. So this is, again, from England. It's called Beggar Maid, and this ended up being like a really weird, like it's got a little bit of brown. So when you look at the bottle, you're like, yeah, that's kind of a brown, but it ends up being this like weird kind of gray, like almost like a tarnished gray kind of color. I don't even really know how to describe it. It's very odd. So on the nail, it just looks a little bit more like gray to me. And so I wasn't super crazy about this. I have very few grays in my collection, and for some reason I just don't gravitate towards grays. And this one was just a really, I don't know, it was pretty, but I just wasn't crazy about it. I don't know, that color is just really, really weird. But it was pretty. Man, I wish I could figure out how to describe it. It's like a brownish gray, which makes no sense at all, but that's what it is. It's like you can't tarnish a gray, but I don't know why that keeps coming to my mind, but that's what the color is. Again, England, really nice formula. I just wasn't crazy about this color. So that again is Beggar Maid from England. Next up is another 1850 Artisan polish that I purchased. This one again is a thermal, and it is called Duplicity. And this was a really pretty thermal. It is a really nice kind of like pinky. On the nail, it doesn't look as purple as it's coming up here from what I remember. On the nail, this comes up as more of like this like richer kind of like, was it purple? I don't think it was purple. Yeah, I guess it was a little purpley. So it ends up being like, I feel like it's not as deep of a purple, but it is a purple. It's like this reddish, kind of brownish purple, which you'll see here from the swatch. So it's like this really earthy, rich, kind of warm, purpley brown color, kind of like a taupey color maybe. And it transitions over into like this peachy kind of, peachy pinky orangey kind of color. I don't know, something about this color combination was so pretty. No flakies or anything in it, but the color combination I thought was gorgeous. It reminded me a lot of that Emily Damali that I talked about in my yearly favorites. It's just something about those like warm, rich, kind of like earthy tones, like almost sunset kind of colors. Gorgeous. Really enjoyed this one. So that again is Duplicity from 1850. Next up is one that I purchased from the Cirque. They released a couple newer polishes to their Metropolis collection, which is their permanent collection. These were a couple fall polishes. You would have already seen Bowery in my most recent haul video. This was the other one that I picked up, and this one is called Walk on the Wild Side. This is definitely going to be kind of a ugly pretty color. I think a lot of folks, when I saw a couple review videos of this, and a lot of people were like, this is like, why Cirque would you make this color? It looks like poop. And it definitely does look like poop, but I am not mad about that. So it's kind of this like warm color brown, but it's got a lot of green in it. So on the nail, it definitely looks brown, but when it hits, and in like this, in indoor lighting, it definitely looks brown. But when you get in the sunlight, it has this like little bit of a green tinge to it. So it ends up looking a little like poopy colored, which normally I would be like, why? But I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really unique brown color. I did do some stamping over this, which I thought looked really pretty. Just some fall kind of like foliage, like flowers and plants and stuff. So I really enjoyed this color. Again, a beautiful formula from Cirque Polish. So if you're into these like ugly pretty colors, I think you should definitely pick this one up. I think it's a really unique colored brown. So Walk on the Wild Side. Next up is another Zoya. I really tried last month to, you'll see here from November, December, I've been trying to get back into wearing my Zoya polishes. I don't know why. I think it's just because I was in such a funk from these all, like this past year, and I kind of talked about it in my yearly favorites. This past year, I just feel like Zoya just was not being very creative with their polishes. And so I feel like since I was so disappointed in the collections this year, that kind of put me in a little bit of a Zoya funk. And so I just hadn't really been reaching for my Zoyas for the past like couple months. So I decided to try and fix that and try and focus on wearing a couple Zoyas. And so you'll see quite a few here, more than I have been wearing. So this one is called Mallory. I picked this one up last year and I didn't get a chance to wear it, so I decided to wear it this year. And this is a really interesting blue color. It's just a really saturated kind of like royal blue, but it's not super vibrant. It's got like a little bit of a dustiness to it. And so when I saw this in the bottle and when I saw it, you know, when I ended up purchasing it, I really thought it was an interesting blue for the fall. Just like a very kind of like primary blue. I thought this would look really interesting for the fall time as kind of one of those like outside of the box type neutral colors that I really like during the fall. And I liked it, but I wasn't crazy about it. It was just, all throughout the day, I kept looking at my nails and I just wasn't super crazy about it. It wasn't super vibrant. Like I wanted it to be kind of vibrant and like punchy, and it wasn't. Like it had a little bit of like a dustiness to it, so it just kind of looked a little flat on the nail. I don't know. The formula was nice, no staining issues or anything. So there was nothing really wrong with it. I just didn't really care for the color. It didn't really come across the color that I see in the bottle. It just didn't really come across that way on the nail. I wanted a little bit more from it and I just didn't get that. So I'm a little on the fence with this one. So that one is Mallory from Zoya. Next up is a Noodles nail polish that I got in the November For the Love of Polish box. I haven't been getting every single month's box. I've been kind of reining myself in a little bit with purchases, but this November box I was really excited about. I thought the polishes looked really cool, and surprisingly this was the first one that I wanted to wear from that set. I don't know why, because it's a gray and I normally don't wear grays until like the winter months, like January-ish, but for some reason this one was calling my name. So this one is called It's Indie Rock and Roll to Me, and I can't remember what the theme was for this month, but so this one is just like a medium toned gray color, and it's just packed with a bunch of stuff, which I don't know if you're gonna be able to see here. So you get a little bit of like a bluish purpley flash that you can kind of see there. It's duochromy, so it's like a blue to purple flash. It's also packed with some silver glitters in there. So it was really, really pretty. So I think maybe just like the crazy, like that flash that's in there, and I think that's what really ended up making me want to put this on my nails. And when I got it on the nails, I was a little underwhelmed. First off, the formula on it was a little, it was a weird formula. It wasn't bad, but it was just weird. Like it was one of those like thick but thin polishes where it still took 3 coats to be opaque, but it was really like just hard to manipulate on the nail. So I didn't really care for the formula on this, and then the finish on the nail was not quite what I saw in the bottle. You don't really get that blue to purple flash that you could see in the bottle. That doesn't really translate to the nail very well. So all you really get is that kind of silver glitter that's in there, which is okay. But for me, I think the real reason I pulled this out was that blue to purple flash. And so if it didn't show up on the nail, it was just a gray with some silver glitter, which I'm not super crazy about. So this one was a little bit of a dud for me. So that again is Noodles nail polish. It's Indie Rock and Roll for me. Next up is a color club that I put in my fall favorites that I really wanted to wear. This one is called Sidewalk Psychic, and I was super impressed with this one. I'm starting to get into linear hollows. I feel like I've definitely am jumping on the bandwagon. I feel like people have been into linear hollows for a long time, but I'm just starting to kind of get used to linear hollows. But so this one is just kind of like this like brick red linear hollow. I did some stamping over it, which turned out really, really well. So I was really, really impressed with this polish. I am also wearing a linear hollow today. This is an A. England polish that I just picked up. So definitely adding, I think I have I've definitely been adding a lot of linear hollows to my collection. So I was really glad that I ended up picking this one up because I think this was really pretty and it was a really nice formula. And then next up is another Zoya. This one I hadn't worn last fall, and I definitely wanted to get it on my nails because this is one of my favorite polishes. Fall polishes are always hard for me because there's just very little time. There's only so many weeks in fall for Texas, so I only get to wear so many fall polishes. So I definitely knew, since I didn't get a chance to wear it last year, that I wanted to wear it this year. And this one is Cinnamon from Zoya. And it's a really pretty, just like metallic bronze. It's so pretty. Beautiful formula, not super brush strokey. Oh, it's just a gorgeous kind of like unique brown shade. Definitely did some stamping over this, which I thought looked really cute. This is one of my top Zoyas. I just never get a chance to wear it because I really only wear it during the fall time. So really enjoyed that one. Cinnamon from Zoya. Next up is another A. England. I wore this, I want to say last year, and I wasn't super crazy about it, so I decided I wanted to try it again this year and see if I was still kind of meh about it. And this one's called Briar Rose, and Briar Rose is just it's a Christmassy red, but like not quite as, like, it's not quite as like saturated of a red, I guess. So it's a pretty color. I don't know why. Again, I was still kind of just meh about it. I think what I remember last year was that I think I bought this thinking it was Briarwood and not Briar Rose. So I imagined this to be like a much more saturated red than what it got when I got it. So I think that's why I didn't like it last year. And so when I tried it again this year, I was still kind of like, it's nice, but I want something a little bit more from it. It's just a little bit too, I don't know. It looks pretty in the bottle, but for some reason when I get it on the nail, I'm always just so underwhelmed by it. So I think I may end up destashing this just because I'm not super crazy about it. So that again is Briar Rose from England. Next up is a Cirque polish that I picked up. I picked up 2 from the new, I want to say it's Dreamscapes, because I think I said Desertscapes last time and that was wrong. Dreamscapes. This is the first one that I wore, and this is called Deja Vu. Super pretty polish. It's like this like purpley gray color with a gorgeous flash, and it's just got like a sprinkling of scattered hollow in there. So pretty, really beautiful, vibrant flash that you can see on the nail. Oh, really enjoyed this one. This was a great start to the collection. I do kind of want to go back and get a couple of the other ones, but I'm kind of holding off. I think there's one other one that I really want, so I'm debating whether or not I'm going to go back and pick that up, but for now I've got 2 of them, and so far I've really enjoyed this one, and I swatched the other one and it seems pretty good so far. So that again is Deja Vu from Cirque. Next up is another Zoya. Told you I've been trying to focus on my Zoyas. This is very Zoya heavy. Not terribly Zoya heavy for some people, but for me, the last couple months, I feel like I hadn't been wearing many. So this one I picked up a couple months ago. This one is called Waverly. It is a pixie dust, and a couple people had been raving about it in some videos, and I knew I liked it, but I just never really, I don't remember why, I just never picked it up. So I picked it up a couple months ago, and I'm not crazy about this polish. I think I've figured out what it is about the pixie dust. So there's some pixie dusts that I really like matte, and I'm sorry, my eyeball is itching. I feel like I itch my eye a lot in videos, and I'm trying to not do that, but my eyeball's itching right now. So for pixie dusts, most of the time I like to wear pixie dusts with top coats. The ones that I don't wear top coats with, or the ones that I like matte, are the ones that are sparkly enough that you can still get a little bit of, you know, sparkle to them when they're in the matte. Just, I feel like it doesn't make any sense. I like only certain ones matte. The ones that are matte are the ones that are kind of sparkly, have a little bit of some glitter and sparkle to them when they dry down. For the most part, most pixie dusts I feel like need a top coat. I just don't like them matte. I think they look very flat on the nail. I like the texture. I feel like they're not too gritty. They're just this nice kind of sandy finish, but I just don't get enough color. Like they fall a little flat when they're matte to me. So this one is a very deep kind of navy blue with a aqua shimmer that runs throughout it. I don't know why my focus is being all weird today. There we go. And so in the bottle, this looks super, super pretty, just really like gem-like and jewelly, and it's very pretty, but when it dries down matte, you don't see any of that like aqua blue glitter. It basically gets lost in the base. So I didn't love this matte, so I tried to put a top coat on it, and it ate through. I think I put 3 really thick coats of top coat on this, and it still ate through it. So it never got to complete smoothness, and so even with top coat, you still didn't get, granted the top coat, it ate through the top coat, but even with 3 coats, it ate through the top coat. I never saw that blue sapphire, you know, that blue aqua shimmer glitter. So to me, this is not, it falls way too flat for me. I really want to be able to see that, you know, those blue glitters in there, and you don't see it at all, at least for my preference. So I'm definitely, I did not like this. I haven't destashed any of my Zoyas as of yet, but I feel like, I don't know why my eye is itching so bad. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't destashed any of my Zoyas as of yet, but I feel like this would probably be in the top set of ones that I'm gonna destash, because I hated this, to be honest. There's very few Zoyas that I hate, and this was probably one of them. So that again is Waverly from Zoya. Next up is another Cirque polish. This one is from the Facets collection that came out a couple months ago. This one is called Emerald, and I don't think this is gonna show up. It's showing up not too bad. So in the swatch photo you're gonna see here, it's not totally color accurate. I feel like what I'm seeing here in the viewfinder is pretty close. So Emerald is this, obviously like emerald green. It's not as deep of an emerald green as I've seen from, when I think of emerald green, I think of a green that's like a little bit deeper. But this is still pretty. It's just a little bit of a lighter emerald green than I'm used to, but it's really pretty. It's got a whole lot of scattered hollow in there. It's a nice formula. It's a little bit thin, so you do probably want to do 3 coats just to get as much scattered hollow on the nail as you can. I did do some stamping over this, which I thought turned out really pretty, just some Christmas tree effect. So definitely a good start. I was a little hesitant on the Facets collection just from the swatches that I did, which you, if you want to see those, I have that in my haul video, which I'll link over here in the cards if you want to see that. I was a little hesitant just because the formula was so thin, but I actually ended up really enjoying this. So glad I got a chance to wear it. So that again is Emerald from Cirque Colors. Next up is another favorite of mine. This is another, again, like I mentioned, I've been trying to get back in the swing of wearing duo multi-chromes. And this one is one of my favorites, so I wanted to bust it out. This one is called Cheers to the Holidays from Fun Lacquer. And this is one of my favorite duo chromes, like I just mentioned. So it's this really pretty kind of vibrant purple that shifts over to this like warmer kind of pinky purple, and you do also get some gold shots when it hits certain lights. So the swatch photo obviously is going to be a little bit better than this video because these never show up, but still one of my favorites. I just think the purple and the pink shift is just so vibrant that it's glowy. It's very fiery on the nails, so it's still one of my favorites. So Cheers to the Holidays from Fun Lacquer. Next up is another Zoya polish. This one is a new Pixie Dust. So they were doing a sale not too long ago. I can't remember what the sale was, but it was basically Pixie Dust. So I decided to pick up a few other Pixie Dusts. This was before I realized what Pixie Dusts I like and which I don't like, but we'll talk about that later. But anywho, this is one of the most recent Pixie Dusts that came out in the Jubilee collection in the winter holiday collection, whatever. This one's called Juniper, and Juniper it's this interesting like tealy blue, and it has a little bit in the bottle, you get a little bit of like a purpley shift to some of the glitters that are in there, which I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell here from the video, but it mostly is a like tealy blue, and it's got quite a bit of silver, not as much as some other Pixie Dust, but it does have a little sprinkling of some silver glitters in there. But it's very, very pretty in the bottle. On the nail, however, this kind of suffers a little bit from what I was just talking about with Waverly. So when it dries down, you definitely don't see any of that purple that's shifting in the bottle. It's mostly just like this tealy kind of greenish blue color, which is fine, but the silver shimmer, or the silver glitters that are in here are basically non-apparent. You can't see them very much. So it ends up being just kind of a flat, kind of tealish color to me. So I wasn't super crazy about it. As I've mentioned, I need a little bit of sparkle to my Pixie Dusts. So I tried to put some top coat on it, and it suffered from the same thing where I don't know if Zoya's doing a new formula with the Pixie Dusts, but I used to be able to put like 1 or 2 coats of top coat on a Pixie Dust and it would be fine. These Waverly and this one, like I said, 3 coats of top coat and it ate through it completely. Like not even like, maybe like a semi-matte it got, but it never totally got completely shiny or smooth. So wasn't super crazy about that, and I ended up taking it off pretty quickly. I think I only had it on maybe half a day, and as soon as I took it off, I realized that it stained horribly. I did wear a peel-off base coat, which was probably the problem. Peel-off base coats are not really that protective, but when it comes to Pixie Dust, I like to wear something underneath that peels off easily because I don't like sitting there having to deal with nail polish remover when it comes to these. So it did end up staining me quite a bit, and since I didn't really care for the finish, I think this is probably going to be one of those, like, I don't know, I haven't destashed any of my Zoyas, but this will probably be high on the list of I want to get rid of you because I just didn't care for this at all. So, all right, memory card just died, and then I just realized as I was sitting back down that I've got this dead cat laying behind me. And then I've got Miss Rabies over here on the piero. She's sleeping. All right, so it's getting a little late, so I think I'm gonna be able to do one more week, and then I gotta get ready to go to dinner. So here's the last week of polishes. So the next one is another one from the For the Love of Polish box from November. This one is from Pahlish, and it is called Bend the Light. And this one is really pretty. It's a kind of just navy blue color with a beautiful, which I don't know if it's gonna pop up here. It's more of a green flash, but it's a little duochrome-y. I don't know what is up with my focus today. It's a little bit of a duochrome-y shimmer that you can see. For some reason, it's not really coming up here true in the video, but it ends up, it's kind of a green I'm not getting that color that I see here in the video. It's more of just like a green flash with a little bit of some scattered hollow in there. So this is really, really pretty in the bottle. I wasn't super crazy about this on the nail. I don't know why. It just, I don't know. You don't see as much of that green flash. It fell a little flat for me. So I'm not, it was okay. It just wasn't super crazy about it. And I haven't really been getting a lot of sunlight here. It's really been kind of dreary and gross out. So a lot of these polishes that need sunlight to kind of like get its full potential, I haven't been able to get any, you know, sunlight. So this probably looks really nice when it's in direct sunlight, but I'll probably keep this in my collection and wear it again just because I think it looks really pretty. Just first go around, I wasn't super crazy about the finish. So that again is Bend the Light from Pahlish. Next up is an ILNP. ILNP did me wrong. I hadn't bought any ILNPs in a long time, and they sent me an email and was like, hey, you haven't come by in a while, so here's 20% off. And I was like, I don't even know, was it 20% off? It might even have been like 30% off. It was something mean. And I was like, really? 30% off? I was like, I almost had to go buy polish. So ILNP sucked me in and made me buy some polishes. So I don't think I've worn any of the other ones, but this is the first one that I wore, and this one is called Rosewater. And they've got a lot of these kind of silver micro glitters with a bunch, and they all have kind of different shimmer flashes. So I finally went with this one. It was between this one and Fired Up, which I know a lot of people like, but Fired Up had more of like an orangey flash, where this one had a little bit more of like a pinkier rosy flash. So I think that would be a little bit more suitable for me rather than an orange. I feel like I will reach for this quite a bit more than the orange, so I ended up going with Rosewater instead. Really pretty. I like this a lot. I ended up doing like a candy cane type stamp with this, and so I thought this was really pretty. I think the flash definitely helps because for me, silver kind of glitter, you know, micro glitters like this are usually not my cup of tea, but since it had that little bit of a flash in there, I thought it looked really pretty. So, and it wasn't super like bam in your face. It's definitely like a little bit more finely milled glitters, so they're a little bit they're not as like crazy on the nail. They're a little bit more like subdued, so I think that also helped. So that again is Rosewater from ILNP. Excuse me. Next up is a Cadillacquer. This is another exclusive from Hypnotic. If you have been watching some of my videos, Cadillacquer periodically does polish exclusives with Hypnotic Polish, which is an international nail polish stockist. And I wore Dancing Fuchsia and Sweet Peonies, I believe it is. That was towards like the summertime, and those were really, really pretty. I loved those a lot. They released another set of polished exclusives, and I had to grab these because I loved the other ones so much, and this flaky mix that they're doing just looks so, so pretty, so I couldn't pass this up. So this set came with a kind of chocolatey brown as well as like an emerald green, so you'll see the emerald green here probably in a haul because I don't think I'll probably wear it until next season, unfortunately. But this one is called Autumn Potpourri, and I can't even tell you how pretty this polish is. So it's like this chocolatey brown base, and I don't have enough sunlight today, so I don't know if this is going to do it justice, but it just has all of those beautiful copper flakies that they have been doing. So like, I can't get enough of these copper flakies. Like, you can literally put copper flakies in anything, and I'm just like, so I love this polish a lot. I did layer this because I've Cadillacquers, since I have quite a bit of visible nail line, Cadillacquers are a little thin for me, so rather than doing 3 to 4 coats, I did put Zoya's Louise as a base polish under it. So it ended up being a little bit darker than I would have liked. Ideally, I would have liked to do more of a chocolate brown, but I couldn't really find anything in my collection, and I was running short on time. So this mani that I did, I loved it. I thought it looked really pretty. I love this like little hot chocolate coffee stamp that I did. But ideally, I think next time I want to wear it under something that's a little bit warmer, a little bit lighter, not as dark, because this just turned out a little darker than I would have liked, but it's still a gorgeous polish. I'm so happy I got this. So Autumn Potpourri from Cadillacquer. Next up is one of my favorite Zoyas, of life. I think this is probably like the first Zoya that I ever purchased. And this one is Blair. I wear Blair every Christmas. I can't get enough of it. It's so beautiful. It's this blackened red metallic. It is so gorgeous. And not a lot of people talk about it, at least on YouTube. I see quite a few people wearing it. I saw quite a few people wearing it for Christmas this year. But before I started making videos, I feel like no one ever talked about this polish, and I love it so much. I did do a stamp over this, which didn't turn out as well as I would have liked. The stamp was being obnoxious, but this color is gorgeous nonetheless. I love it so much. I will love it. I will continually love it because it's probably like one of my top favorite Zoyas. So that again is Blair from Zoya. Decided to bust out another Zoya. I told you I went a little Zoya crazy this month. This one is called Isadora. Isadora came out last holiday, I believe. And it's this really pretty, it reminds me a lot of some other colors that I have in my collection. So I've kind of been hesitant to wear it because I usually will go reach for, it reminds me a lot of Zoya's Haven, which I tend to wear. Haven's one of my favorite colors. So I decided to try this one out just because I hadn't worn it and it's been sitting there for a while. So it's definitely like a metallic, it's an interesting purple. It looks a little warmer in the bottle, but on the nail it ends up being a little bit of a darker purple, like a darker, cool purple metallic. So it's very pretty. Unfortunately for me, I feel like this comes up a little too dark on the nail. So I really love this finish. Like I said, you just saw Blair there, and I also wear Haven a lot. I just love this metallic shimmer kind of finish that Zoya does on a lot of their polishes. And I thought I would like this, but I feel like the base is just a little too dark. So while you do catch that metallic a little bit, it doesn't show up as much as I would like. So just for me, I'm not crazy about it just because it's a little bit too dark of a base. I want it to be like a little bit lighter so I can get a little bit more of that metallic finish. But if you're into those types of colors, then this is definitely a good one for you. I think it would be good. It was just a little too dark. I'm not into those like almost kind of blacky purple colors, which this kind of comes off a little bit. So you only really caught that metallic in certain lightings. And when you did catch it in certain lightings, it was really pretty, but just a little too dark for me. So that is it, guys. I think I think that's almost all the way through December. So I'll try and film another video here hopefully soon, and then we'll hopefully be caught up one day. I know I keep saying that, but I have a goal to be caught up and do just weekly manis again. I miss weekly manis so much. So I hope you guys are having a good one. Let me know what you have been wearing and how has your New Year's been treating you so far? Are you into winter polishes now? I feel like now that New Year's is gone, I definitely start to get into the like neutrally wintry shades. So I definitely have been reaching for a lot of, although I'm wearing this today, but I definitely have been reaching for a lot of like grays and neutrals and stuff like that. So I feel like that is where I'm at. So let me know what you guys have been wearing, what you've been liking. I just stocked up. Tonic did a restock today, so I just stocked up on some Tonic polishes, which I wish, I feel like I can't help myself when it comes to Tonic polish, but yeah, that's what's going on with me. I think, I've got a couple videos to film, but I don't think I'm gonna have time to film them today, but anyway, I'm gonna ramble. I need to get going. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are having a good one, and I will talk to you guys next time.